let's have a look what we can do with Adobe Acrobat. It's not only Adobe Acrobat, it's a whole environment which includes Acrobat on the desktop itself, which is the application that we see currently. It also includes some services that can be accessed either from Acrobat or from other applications on the mobile devices, or also directly from the web browser. We will see that later. So, what's Acrobat all about? Let's repeat it shortly. It's all about documents. We work a lot in our lives with documents. Most often we use them as sources of information. Sometimes we need to deliver them. Sometimes they are connected with more complicated processes, such as signing a contract, filling out a form, commenting, etc. The complexity and variability of what we need to do is enormous. Here we can see some examples of documents. Let me just switch between them. We have them in different tabs in Acrobat. They were originated in different ways from different sources, but still they are documents, PDFs in Acrobat. Let's go back to this one, which shows comparison between different versions of Adobe Acrobat. And let's go on. Acrobat is really an extremely powerful tool that has been around for some 20 or more years. And it can do really almost anything with the documents. The problem, however, is the variability and richness that I mentioned. Some things you do more often, some only occasionally. Therefore, it's crucial that performing the action with electronic document is really easy, because the competing is the traditional paper process, which may be slow and expensive, but still it's simple and natural. We are just used to it. And this is the challenges that we are addressing with the Document Cloud and Adobe Acrobat. So let's have a look at the environment that Acrobat and Document Cloud bring us. Here we can see the user interface of Acrobat. It's task-oriented, so we can call, for example, environment for creating PDFs. I close it, or exporting PDFs to different formats. Close it again. We switch on commenting. And we can see even more tools here in the Tools tab. Well, and it's also possible to add some tools into the toolbar on the right, like this. So let's add shortcut for the reduction. So we'll go back. And we can also find the tools if we don't know exact name of the tool. So we can just find what we want to do. So scan, and we are offered all the tools that are somehow related to scanning. Either the scanning itself, or some subsequent enhancements of already done scans. OCR again will show us everything where we work with text recognition. Edit means editing PDF documents. We see a lot of different tools. So let's stay here with the set of the basic tools. Once more, let me remind that these tools are organized in a logical way, and if we want to see the tools for editing a document, so we see really the respective tools that we just need and nothing else. If we close it, these tools disappear again and we only see the basic navigation tool. If we want to organize pages again, the tools appear, and if we close, the tools disappear, and again we have just the basic environment. So this is what's concerning the user interface in the computer. And let's have a look how this looks in the mobile devices. So here we can see the mobile phone, and we have here the Adobe Document Cloud applications. So I open the Adobe Acrobat on my mobile phone. This is the mobile version of Adobe Acrobat. We can see the overview of the documents that we are working with. We can see also a list of the documents. So it's actually a combination of the most recent documents that were opened locally and the document that were opened from the document cloud, from the online repository. These online documents are marked with this little cloud symbol just next to the size information. And on the other hand, the local documents, they of course don't have this cloud, but as they are fully accessible, we can even see the preview of them even on the mobile device for a better orientation. Let's also have a look at some tools that we have at disposition in the mobile version of Acrobat. So here we can see some PDF with catalog of furniture, and let's do some changes to it. We can, for example, organize the pages, select the tool for organizing the pages, and now I can move or change the order of the pages in a very easy way. Let's have a look like this. So even such a feature is available in the mobile version of Adobe Acrobat. Show once again the toolbar in the mobile version, and really just have a look at the similarity of the toolbar that you can see in the mobile version, and on the right is the toolbar in the Acrobat on the desktop. This really helps to work efficiently in both versions in a very similar way, despite the fact that, of course, on the mobile platform the set of tools is a bit limited. So I'll close the toolbar. I have just saved the document that I changed the order of pages. We can also have a look at the different repositories. Open a document from the document cloud. So here we open a PDF file that includes some contract, some employee agreement. We can now also export this PDF into different formats. Well, there's a difference. Unlike on the desktop platform, here when we export PDF, it's uploaded to the document cloud and then converted on Adobe servers, and after then the document gets downloaded in the required format. As you see, the entire control and the logic is adapted to the user to easily find the function he just needs, so he does not have to search within difficult menus and look for the tools. With this, people can better use more of the features and not return again and again to paper, because in Acrobat, as well as in the other accompanying applications on the mobile or on the web, working with an electronic document is really and simply easier. When having spoken about the mobile app, it's also important to mention that the documents that need to be available to us when we need them and where we need them. Documents come to us from really many directions. Some will come to us via email, some we will download from the internet or from the corporate network. Others will come in paper form by ground mail, because we cannot be in full control that everyone delivers to us the documents just in electronic format. Others document will be output from some information system as invoices, reports or sales tables. These documents are stored in many different locations. The favorite downloads folder on each computer, on the desktop as an email attachment. Nowadays, cloud storage is increasingly being used. We have Dropbox, Creative Cloud, Microsoft SharePoint, iCloud, etc. We can have a look here really, the different types of storage, where we have local storage, document cloud storage, access to the Creative Cloud storage. This is the SharePoint storage. So really, Acrobat can be integrated with many different types of storage. Here we can see what's our choice on the Mac platform. But for our demo, we will continue using the document cloud storage that comes together with the document cloud. We will now switch to the mobile device, but here we won't go to Adobe Acrobat, but first we will have a look in a folder of the email application on the mobile phone and open an email that includes a PDF document as an attachment. I'm going to open the document. It will open in Adobe Acrobat Reader on the mobile. I can see it's a presentation. It has 5 slides. Now I'm going to save this presentation from my mobile device to Document Cloud. I have saved it from email to Document Cloud on the mobile phone, as it's connected to the same Document Cloud account as the Acrobat on my computer. And with this, we are going to switch back to the desktop. I'll go again to the list of the recent files, and we can see it was updated, and I see here the document that I have just saved from the mobile phone. So here on my computer, really access to something that I originally opened on the mobile device. So as you can see, Acrobat does really everything to simplify your work with documents. You have access to repositories, you get storage for your documents, and if you wish, your documents can be really accessed whenever you want on the mobile device or on the desktop computer. But still, it's just not possible to get rid of the paper. We can be really extremely efficient and structured in our own organization, but not always the world around us is as efficient. Papers are coming to us from time to time, sometimes a form that we need to fill in, sometimes a receipt that we need to attach to some expense report, sometimes it may be some contract that we need to sign. And we just need to assure that the transition between paper and the electronic world is simple and efficient. Acrobat DC and Acrobat Mobile bring a number of improvements, so we can simply convert paper documents into electronic forms and work with them. Let's see how this works. Here I am again on my mobile device, and this time I'm not going to open the Adobe Acrobat, but I'm opening another mobile app which is called Adobe Scan. Let's see what happens. Adobe Scan uses the camera of the mobile phone and it looks for a document. It automatically captures. It saves the picture. I can preview it, the scanned document, and I can save a PDF to the document cloud. We can see here that the PDF is being uploaded to the document cloud. In the document cloud on Adobe server, text is recognized, and with this I can return again to my desktop application. We can see everything gets updated and the scan appeared here. So if I open it, we can see the scan. The receipt can be then added to some expense report in the PDF format. We have also tools for improving the scans on the desktop app. Let's use this enhanced scan feature. We select tools for cropping the scan. We don't need to improve this one too much because Acrobat Scan, Adobe Scan did a very great job. Let's do just an adjustment just to show. So the page is enhanced and we can save the document, or before that we can also select text recognition, and the document then becomes searchable even though it was originally scanned from paper. So I can just save the document. Let's go back to the home page. Now let's also have a look at how we can use mobile application, not just on the mobile phone, but also on the tablet and also on the other platform. Until now I have worked on the Android platform, and now I'm switching to the iPad. And let's have a look at something else that we can do here. I'm here in Adobe Acrobat on the iPad, and I have here a document that contains some form fields, a few form fields to be filled, and just have a look how we can use. We could do, of course, the same on the mobile phone and as well as on the desktop application, but I'll now go and send this document to the Fill and Sign application on the tablet, which is intended for filling ad hoc forms that we get from anywhere. We can add any document as if it was a form in PDF. So very useful tool. So let's see how we can fill in the form here. I just start filling the form, and we can see that it's proposing me some text that it has already learned, also the email address, and you can see it will recognize that I want to type an email address, so I can just confirm. Here I can also sign the document by adding my scanned signature. I'll click Done. And the next step here would be sending the filled form, which I'm not going to do at this moment. For the next part of my presentation, I will switch to Microsoft Windows platform, as we can see, And I'll actually start not with Acrobat again, but I'll start with Microsoft PowerPoint. Here we can see the same presentation that we had on the mobile device and that we have seen even more times. And what I'm going to do now, when working with documents, we just need to work with different formats, with documents from different sources. Some of those sources may be even from paper, and we somehow need to combine these different sources so that we can keep one case together whenever possible. This is sometimes not really easy. So we can use for that Adobe Acrobat that can combine different documents into one PDF that can be then stored, and we can have agenda or documents to some cases just in one document, no matter if they originated or not in different applications. So I'll start now with Microsoft PowerPoint, and I'll switch here to this Acrobat ribbon. We can see some commands, tools for creating PDFs. We can check the preferences here. We can leave the conversion settings to standard as it came by default, and now I'll click converting to creating a PDF, and a PDF gets creating, and here we get the PowerPoint document converted to a PDF and opened in Adobe Acrobat. But I may want to combine even more files. So we can use this Combine Files tool. And I can now go and add files. I may want to add from Microsoft Word format. I'll open it here. I can also add the open file, which was that one that I have just converted from PowerPoint. I can also add files by dragging and dropping, like this PDF document, just also add a PDF. And even from Microsoft Outlook, I can add an email message. So I drag and drop it, and even an email message with an attachment will be converted to PDF. I can change the order of the pages, and not just the whole documents or pages within one document, but we can really completely reshuffle pages between the different documents that I'm combining here. So I'll just click Continue and Combine, and Acrobat is converting all the different files into one PDF format, and it will assemble them into one PDF file with the pages from these different original documents. So here we have the resulting document in the form of a binder. Here we can see the thumbnails of the pages. Let's have a look, for example, here. Here we can see that an email message that was there, and as this email included an file attachment, this attachment became attachment of the PDF file. So really a very unique possibility that probably no other application can offer, unlike Acrobat, for really assembling documents into one compact file. We will see a bit more, but for that I'm going to switch back to the Mac platform. To show a few more methods of creating PDFs, I'll now switch to the web browser, and I'll just use it only to select a piece of text here, copy it to the clipboard, and when I go back to Acrobat, I can then go into the Create PDF environment, and here we can see some of the different options, and I'll select creating a PDF from the clipboard. And we can see here that immediately a PDF file was created from the content of the clipboard from the browser. But there are also other ways how to create PDF from other sources. We can also create a PDF from a web page. I would just need to enter a URL of some web page, and then it would get created. I'm not going to do this now, but I rather show a web page that was converted to PDF almost 8 years ago during one demo with an older version of Acrobat, and we can really see that Acrobat is also unique as a method of archiving some state of a web page in a compact format of the PDF. So we have seen that the PDF can be created from any source data capable of visualization. It looks like paper, after all it prints, and there are advantages in integrating the original source files, etc. And on top of that, it is searchable. And in Acrobat or DC services, we can create a PDF really from anything, and the PDF will be uniform, fast, reliable, and it will have good quality and efficient file size. And we can also integrate paper content, as we have seen a while ago. We will stay now with this and several more documents, and we'll show editing features in Adobe Acrobat DC. Everyone probably had a PDF document and needed to do some edits. Are you a sales company and you have received a PDF brochure and a presentation of the new product from the supplier that you needed to translate? For many years, we have told our customers that PDF is the final format and is not intended to be edited. But in the real world, there are many situations where you need to make some adjustments to the document, change some price information, correct some mistakes or inaccuracies. So let's see how you can do it. Here we have one document. It's a product leaflet, comparison of different versions of Adobe Acrobat. Just imagine we need to translate it to a different language. Without the possibility of editing a PDF, we would just need to create a new document from the scratch. With features for editing PDFs, we can just start translating here. So let's imagine we want to translate it to German language. So and just type some German translation of this. Correct the size of the frame. I guess I don't need to show much more with this document. We'll stop the editing here, and here we can see a few lines that were already translated. Here we have another example. This is a car producer catalog, and here is a window for adding the resellers information. So I'll just edit this. Just start typing in a similar way as we did it with the previous document. So you can really see that editing PDFs is now possible. But we can go even further with a document like this. This is an old document from the pre-computer times, and we just need to edit or fix some of the appearance of this document. So I'll click editing once again, and Acrobat was performing the page recognition, and it recognizes the text in the page, and I'll start editing this document. So you can see really just incredible possibilities. Acrobat analyzed the document, including the font, and together with creating Acrobat, together with the OCR, it read the font and created a font for my edits of this document. And let's go and into one of the other documents that we have created previously, and one other feature, and that's, I'll switch to editing, and I'll select these lines, and I can add bullets, or I can add numbering these lines. So even features like this are now available for us within Adobe Acrobat DC. So we can see that a PDF error or inaccuracy is no longer a big issue. These editing tools are now very comfortable and allow us to make even more changes and adjustments, and we can do even more. For example, if the font that was used in the document is not available, I can just change the font to some that I have on my system, and then I do the edits. Or we can go and edit the images using another application like Adobe Photoshop. And if this still is not enough, so then there's still the possibility of exporting PDFs into other editable formats, into some of the original formats. The existence and availability of these editing options also brings new demands on responsibility of the users and on security of PDF documents. But prior to continuing about security and showing the security features, let me also speak about one other important aspect, and that's the security of the application itself. Acrobat is very well protected against attacks from the outside. PDF format is a very popular format, is a very popular vehicle for some attacks or some bad code that would like to attack our system. On the Windows platform, Acrobat and Reader address this through working in a protected mode, the so-called protected mode, which means that if malicious code is part of the PDF document, that would cause Acrobat or Reader crash and then attack the system itself and take control of it. The only thing that actually happens is that the application, Acrobat or Reader, will just get closed and no code can make it to the operating system. So that's one very unique feature of Adobe Acrobat and Acrobat Reader. The other important thing that we need to mention here is that the security patches and support are important. Adobe issues regular security patches that address possible security risks, and there is also a page about these patches from where they can be downloaded, including the information. And we should also mention the fact that for some older versions these security patches cannot be done anymore. So, for example, the support for Acrobat 10 had to be finished 2 years ago, respectively in September 2017. So we really recommend upgrading to the newest version of Adobe Acrobat to be absolutely safe from the security point of view. So now let's have a look at what we can do with, as of security at the document level. Here we have a document that we want to secure for opening and also for some changes. So we can either start here with the right tool for protecting, select some way of encryption, or if we don't know where to find it, I can, as we have seen, just type what I want to do. I can go here and I'll select that I want to encrypt with the password. I can select the level of encryption, so I'll switch to Acrobat 10 and later for higher encryption level. Now I'll click here and I'll enter the password that would be required for opening the document. We can see that Acrobat shows me how strong my password is. It's another nice thing. And here I select another level of encryption. I can select if I want to allow for printing. I decide if I want or not allow any changes, and I enter a different password for accessing the document for changes or for content. If I click OK, I'm prompted again to re-enter these passwords. So, and for the other, once again. And now I'll save the document as it was secured. If I close it and open it again, I'm prompted to enter the password for opening. And now let's just try editing the PDF, and again I'm prompted to enter the password, otherwise I cannot do any changes. Now we have returned to the unprotected state of the same document, and let's have a look also at some other approach to security. Sometimes the documents may contain some sensitive data that we want to remove from the documents while still allowing the access to the other parts of the document. For that we have here the redaction feature. I'll call it again from here, and I'll start marking some parts of the document for redaction. I may just, for example, select this part, the address, the same on the next page, and once again. So we can see I can mark more of them at once. Also, there may be some repeating data, like here, such a phone number. So we can also find some text in the document. I can just type just a part of this number is enough. And if I search, all the appearances of this were found by Acrobat. So I'll just check them all and mark checked for reduction. So I can close this window now, and now I'll just apply these redactions to permanently remove that marked content. I can also allow Acrobat to search for any hidden information that might be in the document. And now we can see that parts of the document were completely redacted. And they are not only covered by these black stripes, but the content underneath them was completely removed, so it can't be found with any search tools or anything like that. And we don't need to mark only pieces of text. We can also mark text and images like this. Just select an area and then we just apply the redaction once again. So now, if you look here, this document was redacted and all the theoretically sensitive data was removed from it. Regarding security, there are also some more possibilities. Like, for example, we can create actions that will involve some of the security features. So I'll go to Tools and start the Action Wizard. I'll start managing actions. I'm not going to create a completely new action, but I'll just edit an existing action. We can have a look at what's happening with this action. As we can see, we are here in the Action Wizard for editing the action. What we see here, the action will start with opening with the currently opened file. And I have here settings for adding the watermark. I could already enter some final text, but as I'm going to prompt the user to change this text, I'll just enter that hint. And then I can set up the encryption, which I'm not going to now, as it was already set up. And I'll just save this action, close it, and now I'll start this action. So we start. A dialog for adding watermark has appeared. So I'll enter my own text value. I can just type the name of the recipient, just to make him sure that he doesn't leak that document. And it will be password protected. And now I have clicked OK. And the file, the PDF file, includes this watermark, and the user just cannot remove it as he doesn't know the password for changing the document. Let's now speak about one service that's available for those users who have Adobe Acrobat license as part of the Document Cloud. And that is the Adobe Sign service. In the paper process in organizations and outside of them, there is a typical circulation of the documents for signing. This is done by printing and sending it to the participants. It has some disadvantages, while like the fact that we do not know where the document is in a particular moment. This is time consuming. We need to wait for the documents to return, and there is a big loss of time for everyone. And also there is quite a significant cost of sending the documents between the different parties who need to sign it. Let's see how we can do it with Adobe Sign. I'll just take this document once again, click here, send for signature. I'll send it to two users. First will be myself, and the next will be a user that I have created just for the purpose of the demo of Adobe Sign service. So there is some text that will prompt him that he should sign the document. I'll click Next. Document will be uploaded to the Adobe Sign service. We can have a look at the document and we can click Sign, then Send, which means that I, as the first signer, will sign the document right now. By the way, Acrobat prompted me here that there are missing signature fields, so I could either send it or I can review the document and add the signature fields manually. So I add the signature field for myself with the same pink color. And then I change to the other recipient. So I'll add the signature field for this signer. So now I'm just clicking for signing, and now I'll be prompted here to start here and click to sign the document. We can see that I have already saved in the cloud my signature appearance, but the important anyway is this act of clicking and signing. Now the document is sent to the other user, and I'll just go here into his email account, and in his account we can see that he has received an email message that's prompting him to review and sign this document. So if I click in the other role, Adobe Sign will prepare in the browser the document for me to review and to be signed. I can see the first signature, and here I click to sign, and then the act of signing happened just now. So here we can see the information that it was signed. The signer can download a copy of the signed document, but I'm not going to do this now, and I'm going back to the sender's account. And after some while, the sender has received an email informing that a document between these two parties was signed and filed in the Adobe Sign service. Now I can open these two attachments to this email message. One of them is the signed document itself. It is certified by the Adobe Sign service. And here we can see these two signatures by the two different signers who were part of this signing workflow. So let me go back into the email and open the other document, which contains an audit of this signature process. It includes the preview and the history of this signature process. So we can really see that with Adobe Sign, which is part of Adobe Document Cloud, we can send documents for signature very easily and get the signatures from the signers very quickly, and thus save very significant time and also significant costs that would be associated with circulating the paper documents. But there's more of online services with the Adobe Document Cloud. For example, sometimes we need to send a document that is either too large, like this one. Let's have a look. It's some almost 8 megabytes size, which might still be too large for just sending via email. Or we just want to be sure that the recipient really opened the document. So let's take this document and send it through the track, send and track service. We have here two options. We can either create a link for anyone to download, or we can send it then separately by email, or we can send personalized invitations with detailed tracking. But let's have a look that document cloud services can be also accessed from the browser. Like in this case, I'm here in my account in the browser, and I'll select send and track and start the process from here actually. So the send and track service opens, and I'm prompted to select the files from my computer. I'll select the same file. And I'm not going to create the link, but I'm going to send a personalized invitation. I'm going to send it to my demo user, to my second user. And I just send it. The file is being uploaded, and once the file gets uploaded, then the recipient will receive an email message with the link to view the file and to open and download it. Here we see that the file was sent to the recipient. And now if I have a look in the recipient's email account, I have here a link to view the file, through which I can preview it again in the browser, and then I can download it. Well, let's not forget that I'm the recipient now, not the sender. So I have downloaded it and opened in Adobe Acrobat. And information about the delivery also came to the sender's email, so he's informed that the recipient has seen his file. And if I look here again in the document cloud environment at the list of sent files, I can click here at this file and view the full activity. And we can see that it was previewed and then downloaded, including the times when that happened. So we can really send files without any problems and be in perfect control of it. Then the recipients can download them from the document cloud, and the sender will receive the message as soon as the document was delivered and opened. Let me finish my presentation today with Adobe PDF Forms. Forms are one of the very typical documents that often resist digitization. This is especially true for forms that are not used too often or that are filled out outside of the organization. I just want to show one of those features for ad hoc filling forms. We have already seen once on the mobile. I have here a form that was originally scanned. It's a request for personal time off. And I can just go again from my Acrobat, and in my Acrobat desktop I just start by filling and signing. I'm offered again the names that it has already learned. After filling, I could print it, sign it, send it, And I could even send it for signature, as we have seen recently, and get everything signed as part of that workflow. But I'm not going to continue with this. I'll leave it filled the way it is right now, and let's have a look at some other option. We have here the possibility of preparing forms with. We have prepared here some form fields in advance that are ready for filling in Acrobat or in Acrobat Reader by the recipient of the form, and then for saving or sending. Let's see a bit more of the feature for preparing the forms with Acrobat. This is a real-life form from the insurance company that was downloaded from their website. And let's have a look what Acrobat is capable of when recognizing form fields. I'll go here, start. Acrobat will recognize the fields. And let's have a look how easily fillable these automatically recognized fields then are. So this was just a very quick look at forms, the feature that we have had in Acrobat for some time already. So once again, we can really see that these forms can be created again easier without any limitations for filling in Acrobat or in Reader. They can also be, of course, filled on mobile platforms. And they can also be integrated into electronic signing processes or connected with some other companies' internal systems. So this was all from my Adobe Acrobat DC and Document Cloud presentation. So if there was something that you missed or that was not clear, don't hesitate to contact me for clarification or for further information on my phone or on my email address that you can see here.